Okay. Hopefully the backlight isn't too bright behind me there, guys. I know I put on what do you call it? An update or whatever, and I said I would be going live periodically or whatever, and it's been like, I don't know, maybe half an hour or something. Let me, let me see here. Ashley is going to be joining me. She's over there doing some other logistical stuff, but she's going to be moderating for me here. Now I'm just trying to get this phone set up so that I can read the comments because you're further away this time. Wait, I just saw one. Katie, the Kazank lady or girl, she was watching me earlier live on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please do because there's cool stuff over there on both accounts. Okay, let me just give me 1 second here. I'm gonna try to find. Why am I not getting
Yeah, you can make me a lot. Are you ready to make me a lot?
There we go. Let me turn this down 1 second. Okay, I can read the comments here now. Yes. Hey, Chris McQuag.
There you go.
Very talented dude. Okay, let me just try to make Ashley a moderator here. Add moderator. Sick. Did that work?
Yeah, I don't know yet. I guess I'll find out.
Well, guys. Anyways, the point of this, judging by the thing, and if you with me earlier on Instagram, perhaps I mentioned it. We're gonna do some Coop stuff. The only thing is that we gotta wait 2 hours and a bit for the material to be ready. We saved 600 and some amount of dollars by me going to the American Blue store. Usually I just go to the Canadian one, but the American one bought the Canadian one, so it's primarily the American store now because they're taking over all the Canadian ones. But there are still some Canadian ones left because in Canada, if you buy a company, you have to leave some of that franchise alone for whatever reason, something like that. I could be totally wrong. If someone knows, then you can let me know. But I believe, just like in radio, as a Canadian radio station, you have to play like 30% Canadian songs at least every hour or something like that. I don't know. But we went to Lowe's. We'll call it Lowe's instead of the Blue Store, so you know what I'm actually talking about. And we basically bought the panels that are going to go on the inside. You'll see in the next Coop build exactly what I'm talking about. But we saved $600. We spent $600, but we saved $600. So that is very good that we bought it today because it's on sale. We're waiting for an email, and I was like, we should go live, talk to the folks, and then here we are. Donna McDougal says, I work at Lowe's. And Frederick says, I have a business idea for you. Anyways, what is the business idea? David is asking how Dakota is. Not sure who that is, but if you're talking about Dakota, he's good. I just hung out with him yesterday. We watched the hockey game yesterday. We won 5-1. Pretty good game. Anyways, we are thinking of getting 2 or 3 or 4 more chickens this year. It all depends. We have 4 right now. Overall, the maximum we want to get, and it may change in time, is we want to get 10. That's the maximum we want to get. But it's easy to want to get more because I've been looking, and Ashley's been looking way more than I have, at all the different breeds of chickens, and they're so freaking cool. What we have now is we have 4 chickens. We used to have 2 and 2 that were the same, and now we have 2 one and one, if that makes sense. So as in right now we have two cochins. One's a bantam, so that's like the little midget ones. Um, one's like the regular size, which are like they're really big. I think they're meat birds. Yeah.
I assume so. They're huge.
Yeah, they're huge. Ashley thinks maybe they might be meat birds, but they are a show chicken. They got like feathers on their feet, and they got really fluffy butts. Um, uh, they're really cool. Anyways, we have two of those. One's Nugget and one's Ginger, and then we have an Ostolorp Ostolorp mix, and that's Henrietta. That's the black one. We used to have two of those. She's mixed with something else, but we can't figure out what. Um, she's a real bee. She's the head hen, if you will, and then Sunny is a brown leghorn, and leghorns are the best layers, I guess. And so she and Henrietta give us eggs every day, and the two cochins, Ginger and Nugget, there we go. They haven't laid yet, but the older chickens, they've been giving us eggs every day, and they're just over 2 years old, and the other ones are like 5 months, something like that. Yeah, 5 months. Um, so Erica just asked, will we get a rooster? No, we're not going to get a rooster probably, just because we don't want uh, any of the eggs to be fertilized. Um, maybe in time we would. We're thinking about it for protection for the birds. Someone else has suggested geese. Geese would be cool. We even have a pond they could go to, but they're gonna get whacked so easily by a fox because like domestic geese, they don't fly away, obviously, and so they never fly, and then they don't fly away from predators. They just get smashed. And how I know this is because my brother's roommate has geese, and he has all sorts of chickens and ducks as well. Uh, so yeah. Anyways, we are thinking about getting two, three, or four more chickens this year just to help them all keep warm because our coop is quite big, and we don't want to heat it with heat lamps because that's kind of dangerous. Um, my wife's uncle's barn burnt down from a heat lamp that was not touching anything or whatever. It was just hanging there, and it just, for whatever reason, got so hot that it heated up something that eventually ignited. Anyways, we don't want to have our chicken coop burn down. We've spent way more money than we meant to on it, but
Also, we don't want that chickens getting hurt.
also we don't want our chickens to die, and especially a death like that. That would suck. If we ever were to have to get rid of the chickens, we'd want them to die very not painfully.
Definitely.
So, yeah, we're not going to do that. We have been looking at these solar heaters, which are like an electric heater sort of, but they don't plug in. They're just run off of solar power. Now, the thing that makes me skeptical of them is that heat it takes a lot of energy. So I'm not sure how well they work, but the reviews are decent. Um, so we're looking at solar heat for the coop, which is basically going to be what do you call it? Where it just heats one little area where the chickens basically sit under the heat when they need it, and then when they don't need it, because chickens have a really hot core temperature, they don't mind the cold to a certain extent. Our winters are pretty cold, so um, like they will want heat here and there um, every day. So we do want to have something there for them. Lots of people don't heat their coops at all, and the chickens who die just die, and they don't pay any mind to that because they have so many other birds and they keep each other warm and they don't care. But our chickens are pets to us. They're more than just a bird for food. So we will care if they just start dying because they're freezing to death, because that's I don't know, to me that's brutal. I mean, we do eat chicken and stuff, so we're not like uh, vegans or anything like that, but we do care about our pets and stuff. So, anyways, the heat thing, we're looking at that, and then we're also, if you've been watching the chicken coop videos, you know that it's really tall. We're gonna put a floor, like a second floor, there, and that's gonna be like a heat trap ish, where the heat won't go all the way to the top. It'll just stop there. I mean, it's going to be open faced, so that's only going to do so much, but it will help a bit. So there's going to be that sort of thing, which should help. The other thing is they're going to have a heated water dish, and we actually do have that already. We actually have, well, we had two, but I gave one to Jakota's roommate for his chickens because he didn't have a heated, or for his ducks actually, because he didn't have one for them. And last year they had to change the water every couple hours, so that's kind of a pain. So with a heated water dish, anyways, we have one of those, and we also have plans for our coop is closer to the garage than it is to the house, and we're going to run extension cords when we need it out to the coop from there. Yeah. So you can stay in the top half when you and Ashley are on the outs. Okay. Uh, let's see here. I'm in the middle of work, so unfortunately I can't stay, but I'll hit replay later. Later. Anna Heat Hill, thanks.
We have one for you. What did my dad have?
My father-in-law says, we have one for you. That's probably a dish?
Oh, a heated dish.
A heated dish? That's probably Gunther's dish, right? Remember
Or
when
for the cats, I don't know, yeah.
or something?
It was
I don't
way
know.
too big.
Anyways, we're thinking about, as I was keep losing track, we were thinking about getting a couple more birds this year. And we're thinking, tell us what you guys think about these. So we're thinking about 3 different birds, but we could only remember the names of 2 of them. One of them are the Polish, what are they called?
Polish hen.
Just Polish hens. They're the ones that have like the crazy, there's lots of ones that have different crazy like feathers, but they have like puffy heads, and their feathers are like pointy. I don't know how to explain it. If you don't know what a Polish hen is, just Google it real quick. They look awesome, especially the roosters look awesome. We're only gonna get the hens, so they don't look as cool. For whatever reason, the males always look better. Chris is just saying that I should hook the heat lamp up to a timer, and then it wouldn't. We wouldn't have to worry about the heat lamp getting too hot. That is a good idea. Carrie is saying she's never heated the chicken house, and we have 20 to 40 below weather. Never lost a chicken to the cold. If you give them warm water daily, they love that. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. No, we are pretty confident that they will survive because we insulated our coop. Lots of people don't insulate their coops. I think that in our weather we should insulate the coop.
We have good
Um,
ventilation.
and we have good ventilation too. We have a full ridge cap vent, and we have 2 gable vents, and we have a window that opens. If we need more, then we can easily just cut into it and make more. We're kind of just experimenting right now. But anyways, back to the chickens. So the Polish chickens, we're definitely going to get at least one of those. The thing is that we want to get more than one bird at a time so that the established birds don't screw up the new birds, because they will. They'll beat the shit out of them for just being new, which is fine, because eventually the pecking order will be decided and then they'll be fine. But we're getting little ones, like they're babies.
Pullets.
Yeah, pullets. There we go. And they get hurt way worse than a full grown hen. So we keep them separated. And if you have more than one, then they kind of have their little niche. And then when they get introduced to each other, they'll still have their own niche group, but they will be a community, and then they'll get along as well as anyone would get along, I guess, as a bird. The other one is a Swedish flower hen, right? Yeah. So that's the other bird that we like. And then there's one more that we like, but we couldn't remember what it's
I
called.
think it's like a barn welder or something like that.
Barn welder?
Velder?
Velder?
Barn welder? I don't know.
Barn velder?
I don't know if I'm saying it right.
That's another one. I don't know what they. What was I gonna say about, like, someone was saying stuff about them being like good hardy birds for winter. I don't know what all of them are. We have a guy who we bought our other chickens from, and we're gonna go to him likely to get these other ones. And he has like a he breeds chickens for like shows and for meats and stuff and for eggs. Uh, Robert Keenan says he is not minding any comments. Lots of question marks. That's because I am talking. I don't know. Maybe you're not minding what I'm saying. Works both ways. uh, but he has a bunch of chickens and he has them all outside. Well, they can go inside, but they have like a big roaming ground, whatever. They're not free range necessarily. They would probably all get murked because he lives further out in the country, and there's a lot of coyotes and foxes and the occasional cougar, so they would all get killed right away. Egg Chen Six Demon Bag says, I just got here. Not sure if this was asked, but do you guys plan on getting other animals like rabbits or goats? Um, we were thinking about getting a goat, but the only thing is that the goats are. I don't want them messing up people's cars when they come here because they like to climb, and I don't want them to climb any of my cars. Yeah, that would be. I don't know, but it would be good for the grass. Rabbits, we're not gonna get rabbits because they will get um, a little out of hand unless they get fixed or whatever. They will just be we'll have 1,000 rabbits. So, um, are you going to install a predator apron around the coop? Yes, we are. In fact, we may do that. We're probably going to start working on the coop again tomorrow. So today we're going to go buy well, we already bought it, but we're going to go pick up the inside stuff, and then the hardware wire, whatever it's called. We're going to see what we have, see how far it gets us, and then we're going to see if we think the holes are too big for. Ashley is worried about weasels. I've never seen a weasel here. There may be weasels here that I've just never seen them. But she's worried that the weasels will get through that because the weasel can get through like a 1 inch hole. So if they can get through a 1 inch hole, I believe our holes in our little fence things are 1.5 inches. So they'll be able to get through that easily, I guess. I don't know. A small free range coop with wheels on the side for the summer can move it easily from spot to spot, and the chickens will always be safe. What is that called? A tractor?
Yeah,
Chicken
tractor.
tractor? Yeah, I actually was gonna make one. I had planned to have my shop up by this time, but nah, it didn't work out. I was gonna make one of those in the shop. Someone said I would be more concerned about snakes. Um, we only have garter snakes, and then we have a couple other random snakes around. They're not very common. Garter snakes are pretty harmless to, as far as we know, to chickens. They mostly go after like mice and stuff. Are you guys starting a chicken pageant with all the different kinds? I don't. I wouldn't call it that, but I like the idea of having a bunch of different kinds of chickens. I think it looks kind of cool when you're like, oh, that's a this one and that's a that, and that because right now we all of our chickens look different, even though two of them are coaching. It's just one of them is just a small one, a bantam one, so they just stay. Well, she's gotten bigger since we've gotten her. When we first got her, she was about this big, I'd say, but now she's probably about this big. She's full grown now, and yeah, she's like pretty docile. You can pick her up. You can pick her up if she's perched. If she's walking around, she doesn't like to be touched. Uh, and then Sunny, who's my favorite bird ever. She's the one who has her beak smashed off, or just the tip of it. She is the shit. I really like her. She's what it she's the leghorn. She's the brown leghorn, and you can pick her up basically whenever, unless she doesn't feel like it, and then she'll walk away. But you can walk up to her, you can pet her and stuff. She's really cool. Enough already. Said Ash's coop is badass. I love it and have been really enjoyed watching your family and friends help you two put it together. Yeah, so that enough already.
Thank you.
She's the person who's always sending $25, And yeah, we are very appreciative of her. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, she's badass. She's like every time I'm alive, she sends $25. She's awesome. Uh, okay, here. Snake eat the chicken eggs and the young chicks. Well, we're not gonna have chicks, so we don't have to worry about that. And if they eat the eggs, then they eat the eggs. Whatever. We'll try to keep the snakes out. We have our coop. Part of the reason why we had our coop elevated was that it's not, well, they can still get in, but it's harder for a snake to get in from there. I mean, we have like the cross beams and stuff, so they could climb into one of the holes or whatever, but we'll take our chances, I guess. Uh, Teenage chickens with all the down feathers look hilarious. Let's see here. Those are some nice looking birds. You should get them. I'm not sure. I missed that.
Maybe the Polish ones.
Oh, the Polish ones. John Davis. Also, are you going to insulate the bottom floor from underneath? Yeah, it's been insulated. That was if you watch the chicken coop build part one, you will have seen that.
I answered that question.
Oh, Ashley answered. Okay, so Ashley's actually going to be answering questions too. She's going to be typing them, so look out for those. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get out of Kentucky. Okay. Chris says garter snakes don't get big enough to eat a chick or a chicken egg. They might be able to eat a chicken egg, a small chicken egg, but probably not a chick unless like a very, very tiny chick. I ran up a hill to watch this live. Had to hurry home. Yes, I'm out of breath. That's funny. Put one of your metal roosters in the run. You know what? We probably will do that. We have Ashley does a lot of like she does lots of research. I probably already said this, but she printed off like a university course thing and studied that thing. And I would not be surprised if there was like practice tests if she did those because she's like that kind of person. She's very smart academically and practically as well. But she's very smart academically, and I am very the opposite. Uh, I think I'm a pretty decently smart person, but she is like smart, like the smart that people care about. And anyways, she also does like this research daily on chickens because she really cares about these birds. Anyways, she's found some sick coops from other people. We're not necessarily uh, designing off of someone else's design. We're kind of just designing as we go. But some of these elements that we've seen other people do in their coops, we're definitely going to borrow those ideas. Um, like the sand under the roost thing, we're going to do that. We're going to save most of that for the actual video, so you'll be able to see it. But yeah, we're going to do some good stuff for our birds. Like the chicken swing thing. There's a bunch of different things that we're going to do. We don't want our chickens getting bored in the winter because then they just fight and then they don't produce eggs as often because they get so stressed out. That was part of the reason why we wanted our coop to be so big is because they won't want to go outside necessarily. They will still go outside if they want to, but like they'll be able to. But the likelihood that they'll want to be outside based on right now, it's only -10 and they don't want to go outside, -10 Celsius. They don't want to go outside. I doubt they'll want to go outside when it's -10 every single day, and then getting down to -35 ish. Usually doesn't get colder than 35 on the average, and then it can get down to like 47, 8, like last year. That's when it was like the absolute coldest. That's with the wind chill. I think the coldest was -55 with the wind chill. That was like the absolute coldest. And I think there was some embellishment going on with how cold it was last year. I mean, it was cold as balls. Like, we definitely did not enjoy it, but some people were saying like their thermometers were breaking and stuff. And like, what? They don't use the same materials that they used back when that used to be a common thing. But maybe it did happen. I don't know. I was not witness to any thermometer being broken, but it was cold. Anyways, the point is that we wanted our chicken coop to be big enough for them to be able to walk around. Plus, we're gonna put stuff in there so that they are enjoying their time. Someone said that we should put a disco ball in there. They're probably joking, but that is a thing that people
I've
do.
seen people put mirrors.
Oh yeah, mirrors.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ashley was just saying some people put mirrors. Yeah, which that's a disco ball is like a bunch of little mirrors, right? So that's a we may actually do that. They like to be occupied, and it's easy because birds are kind of dumb. They're smarter than people think, but they're still they're not smart like a crow, you know. But yeah, it's easy to entertain them because I don't know their capacity for entertainment is low. Chris says a few years ago in Alberta was minus 55 with wind chill in Leduc, Alberta. I was working there at the time, and it was one time we got shut down for weather. Yeah, nowadays with OH&S, like minus 27 or something like that, you have to give your crew for every 15 minutes worked. No, wait. For every half an hour worked, you have to give them a 15-minute break, which is insane. But yeah, and if it's minus 30 something, every half an hour they have to take the break for 15 minutes. So like if it's minus 20, I can't remember what it is. I can't remember. Uh, but when I worked for this styrofoam company, we definitely did that. Me and my the so a lot of you guys know that I was framing for a while, and the guy I was framing for, I met him at this styrofoam plant, and he was there because he whatever, he was just there doing this job temporarily, and while he was temporarily doing that job, um, since he knew the rules and stuff because he was the boss man for his own crew of framers and stuff, so he knew all these like rules with WCB and all that stuff and OH&S. So he totally exploited, like we exploited that rule because it was night shift, so it was even colder. It was minus 30 something. So every half an hour we took a 15-minute break, and they couldn't do anything about it. And by the way, the break has to be in a heated facility, so they couldn't they couldn't be like, no, just wait out in there's like a office thing on outside that's not heated. Like we had to go inside, and so we would chill. It's a styrofoam plant, so we just chill on the styrofoam in there, and then after 15 minutes, we'd go back outside, work for half an hour, and it was so cold. We were operating forklift, and if you're standing on metal and it's really cold outside, it makes your feet extremely cold. Even if you have like insulated socks and stuff, like it is brutal. But anyways, that night was crazy. There was a semi truck, or if you're American, a semi truck. There was not an explosion, but this thing was engulfed in flames on the highway. So I worked on the styrofoam plant that borders the highway, which is like the main highway that goes all the way to Saskatchewan and all the way to BC. It actually goes through Saskatchewan, I believe. Anyways, it was like driving, slowing down, stopped, and we're like, what the heck? A few minutes later, it's just like an orange glow, and it was snowing, so it just looked super cool. Melissa is on. Hello, Melissa. Melissa deleted a message. She's like a super quick moderator. I know that this is about the coop, but I wanted to mention that Ryan's shout out to you for his 100 subs was super nice. Thanks for the referral. He has good content. It seems. Oh, wait, sorry. He has good content. Seems like a super nice guy. Ryan, yeah, he actually came over yesterday to get his trailer. And then I told him that I was ready to go get the other cedar, the cedar that I was using to do the coop siding. And he's like, oh, then just keep it for longer. And then he just went back home. But I gave him, one of these prints. I gave him number 2. This is number 3. It's not done being stretched, but I gave him one of these because he didn't want to get paid for his help, which is super nice. Definitely not expected. He's a really nice guy. Anyways, I gave him one of those as a part of a payment. I'm gonna paint him an actual picture too, like an original, and he seems stoked about that, so that's good. So yeah, if you guys don't know who Ryan is, he's the guy who, if you watched, was it in a regular vlog or a chicken coop vlog? Anyways, he helped me get the cedar siding from Tom's house. Tom's house, yeah. And Tom is a guy who's a fan of Alex, and then started watching my channel as well, who gave me some stuff to use to make stuff out of. And then he said he was getting his siding taken off of his house, and I said I would take it all for my floor because I want a cedar floor. And then yeah, so I'm actually gonna go get that tomorrow. I was gonna get it today, but I couldn't borrow Jarrett's truck today, so I'm gonna get it tomorrow instead. I lost my point. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so Ryan is that guy. Parkland Films, all one word. You should check him out if you want some extra content to watch. He has this series right now, Going North, I think he's calling it. It's his road trip to Alaska, and it's really cool. He's got a background in film and stuff, so his content is much more produced than mine, especially episode 1 of that, and then he kind of goes into vlog style for the rest of it. It's really cool, and he's working on another series, ongoing series, and I'm sure he'll have other stuff too. Anyways, he was here yesterday. He is a very nice guy, and I'm glad I know him. He's really cool. Noreen Dies says hi from Dragonfly. Noreen talks to me on Instagram quite often, or used to anyways. Nice lady. Swing that band hammer like a pro. Band hammer. Oh, Melissa. Put a goose in with the chickens. Good at guarding the chickens. Yeah, that is something that we have heard quite a bit from people, and they suggest that we get one of those. The only thing is that we don't really have room for the goose. A goose is much bigger than a chicken. I guess we do have room for him. We would have to make another area so that he could have like water, or she could have water. We'd probably get a pair because they mate for life, I think. Or wait, is that swans? Is that geese too? I don't know. So we'd probably end up wanting a pool for them, and then knowing me, I'd probably be like, no, we're not getting a kiddie pool. We're gonna dig it out. We're gonna have a filtration system. It's gonna be like a fountain, and it's gonna be awesome. And then we're gonna get turtles, and then we're gonna get, I would just go ham with it, and we definitely can't afford that. So probably not gonna get a goose because that's just gonna lead to detriment to my pocket.
Melissa says that her mom feeds the ravens and they chase everything away from the chickens, so they become the chicken protectors.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Crows do that with the hawk.
Ashley is saying that that Melissa said that her mom feeds the ravens that help protect. That's such a good idea.
Yeah.
Because we have ravens, we have a bunch of them, and crows. The chickens don't like them because they're scared of them, but we have hawks, and we have at least 3 big ass hawks, and we have an eagle. So, eagles and hawks, well, any like raptor, basically, they don't kill crows because there's more crows or ravens than there are of them, and then they will swarm the hawk or the eagle or whatever, and they'll kill it. So they don't mess with. That's why when you see an eagle flying, there'll always be 2 crows chasing it. And well, not always, but oftentimes, and that is because they're territorial. This is to my understanding, anyways. And the reason why the eagles don't tell them to screw off is because they'll get killed by all the other crows, because crows have like a family communicational whatever. They're a very tight knit communal bird, and they're very smart. So they know like the different eagles. They're like, that's the bastard who killed Ned, and then they'll go after them, and they'll kill the eagle or the hawk or whatever other uh, raptor or whatever other bird of prey is messing up the colony, if you will. Um, that because so my forest is right out there, and we have at least 30 crows or ravens or a mix of both of them just chilling. The ravens are a much bigger bird than the crows, so I imagine we have like maybe like 4 ravens, and they're more so over there. But we have like a lot of crows in this forest, and if I could figure out a way to feed them and then be chill with my chickens, that would be excellent, because they're not going to kill the chickens probably because they're the same size, and they're a scavenger type bird more so than a bird of prey. But if they could keep away the hawks a little better, that would be awesome. Because the other day we had 3 hawks circling because we had the chickens out, like free ranging, and I was working on the coop. Ashley was chilling with the birds, and then she like calls me. She's like, Josh, and I'm like doing whatever, and I'm like, what? She's like, give me a hand for a second, and I thought she just needed me to help her move something. So I'm like just finishing up, and she's like doing jumping jacks, trying to keep these, because the hawks were getting really close. They weren't really scared of Ashley, so, but she's trying to like get them to go away. But anyways, um, what Ashley needed was to get the birds back into our temporary coop, but there's like a big gap, and to have 4 birds go in a line, it's kind of hard to do that when they're not enticed by anything, because they didn't even notice the hawks for whatever reason. Even though chickens have like the where they can move their eyes independently and they keep one eye on the sky and one eye looking for stuff to eat. Um, Anyways, Ashley went inside and grabbed some corn, which all the chickens liked the corn. So then they made a beeline for the temporary coop, and then they were safe. But yeah, that could have been a massacre because there was 3 hawks and only 4 chickens, and the chickens can't fight back. They would just get killed instantly. Um, but yeah. Anyways, there we go. Someone sent me a text right here on Facebook and sent me a thing about pumpkins and chickens like pumpkins. We actually do that. I was just about to give something away. Keep an eye on Jakota's channel. He's going to be coming out with a video soon, which will also be covered in my next vlog, I believe. But yeah, pumpkins are good for the chickens. Yeah, they love them. I saw a documentary on ravens, and they remember people who harass them, even passing that knowledge on to the next generation. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. My mom feeds the crows at her house. Right now she's with my sister, but at her house there's this couple crows that she feeds. And the reason why she started feeding them was so that they would stop eating like the bird seed. So they would eat like the bigger stuff, like meat and whatnot. And the crows prefer the meat over the bird seed. So so they would, or so she would put out separate food for the crows, and now they come around specifically for food. It's really awesome. Hawks kill the rats in the yard. So Alberta like prides itself on being rat free, to the extent that when there is a rat sighting, it's literally like government agents in government issued vehicles will come to the spot, and they will hunt that rat until they get it, with no exception. There is no we couldn't find it. They will find it and they will kill it. There's no rats in Alberta. So if you see a rat in Alberta, that's rare. There are domestic rats, but you have to have a license to have them. Those are for like pets. So no rats in Alberta. And it sounds like I just made that up, but I do not. I did not. I do not. I did not make that up. Solar lights on the path will help you on winter nights when you have to see what the ruckus is about. You know what's awesome? I actually found like, what was that, like 15 solar lights at the dump before we moved in here. I went to the dump to do my regular the dump stuff, and there was 15 of them in the take it or leave it, or something like that. There might have been more or a little less. Anyways, I grabbed them all, and they all, well, the ones that we tested, they all work, so that's great. And we do plan on using those somewhere around, wherever. Probably next year, because we have all these huge ruts in our yard now because of the soft ground and that boom lift that the guys used to do our eaves troughs and stuff. They left these huge ruts, which I gave them permission to do that because otherwise they'd have to bring those wood platforms and stuff, and that would cost way more money and blah blah blah. I said, don't worry about it, just do this, whatever. But that's going to give us an excuse to get creative with our landscaping, which we're going to probably do ourselves. But we want to have this like a really nice garden area. It's not very good lawn because it has mostly weeds. So we can start over. And we probably won't be able to do it next year. We'll probably just continue cutting the grass, cutting the weeds, and trying to make it look decent. But in time, we want to have this look like a 75-year-old retired lady's house, you know, where it's like nice plants and like maybe a little rock garden thing and trees. I don't know. We just want it cool. Melissa is leaving. Thanks for being here, Melissa. Carrions are really intelligent. I volunteer for a wildlife rescue, and when we have them in, they watch you and learn patterns. Need to be really careful when opening the cage so they don't get out. What's a carrion? Is that a bird? That must be a bird. Okay. My brother had a pet raven that waited for him to come home from school each day. That's super cool. I saw a hawk kill a pigeon. Yeah, that's super common.
People are asking how Jen's doing.
A couple of years ago, watched as a sharp-shinned hawk snatched a mourning dove off my neighbor's lawn 15 feet away from where I was standing. Nature at work in a well-built-up subdivision. You spelled morning like morning? I always thought mourning dove was like the time after night, morning. I always thought that. I was in Italy a few months ago and there were pigeons everywhere. The seagulls were catching the pigeons and eating them. Can't say I've ever seen that before. What? How big are the seagulls? Was it a seagull or was it like a pelican? How did a seagull eat a pigeon? Huh. That's weird. They're mourning. The sound they make is similar to crying. Yeah, I guess I get that now, but I always thought they were just morning, like as opposed to afternoon. Crows and ravens are forbids. Carrion is usually a meat-eating bird. Oh, okay. You need to do a coop/hutch for my 4 guinea pigs. Shame that I'm in the UK. Well, if you can facilitate my trip there, definitely we'll make you one. Have you not seen the video of a gull swallowing the rabbit? No. How big are the seagulls where you live? Like, they must be huge. Or how small are the rabbits? That's insane. Like a seagull is like this big. Like if this is the floor, a seagull is like this tall. Okay? A rabbit is this tall. How? Maybe you have different rabbits. Like here, we mostly have jackrabbits. We also have field rabbits, but they're like you don't see them. But you see a lot of jackrabbits. They're quite big. They look like kangaroos almost. They're not as big as kangaroos, obviously, but they have like that stance where they like kind of stand up. Um, but they have big front legs, so they touch the floor. But they got big ass ears. Man, those are big ass seagulls. Like I can see a pelican because they have like that big mouth with that like rubber scrotum looking thing on their beak. Like how? I gotta look that up. I live at the seaside in the UK, and the seagulls do eat pigeons. My friend videoed it happening. Seagulls are dead, vicious, and attack our visitors, stealing food. Seagulls are dead, vicious. Okay, that must be some slang there. Uh, Seagulls here, man, they hang out at like McDonald's, other fast food places, and they just wait for people to throw their fries at them. They're not that vicious, in my experience. At the seaside, like on the west coast, there's a different type of seagull than what we have here further inland. They have like those gray ones, and they're a little bit bigger, but they're still not eat rabbit size big. Maybe they could eat a pigeon, but then again, a pigeon's like this big, but they're mostly feathers, huh? Huh. Seagulls and pigeons are flying rats, to be honest. Pests. I guess it depends on where you are, but they are pests. Uh, Diana says our seagulls are disgusting. California gulls are big and aggressive. Yeah, they are. Those are actually bigger. Well, they're bigger than the ones that we have, but I've only seen the ones in LA because we went to, or I don't know if we were in LA necessarily, but in that area, anyways. We went. Where did we go to? We went to some pier somewhere or something like that, and there was a big ass seagull there, and there was like this cartoonishly evil looking pelican. He was like, like in cartoons where they'll have like the bad character have like features about him that you're like, yeah, that's the bad guy. You can tell. That's what this pelican looked like. He looked like he was drawn. Which, you know what? I'm going to talk about something here in a second. This was supposed to be about the chicken coop, and we went on a tangent, but that's just snapped me back. But anyways, this pelican was massive. It was like, I mean, it was pelican size, but his face, like their heads are like this big or whatever. His face looked like he had like scratches all over his like head area, and then his beak was like orange and like all sorts of messed up. But he was digging through the dumpster, so he could have not been scarred on his beak or whatever. It could have just been junk on his beak. But yeah, we call seagulls beach buzzards. Yeah, that's a good one. Uh, they are dumpster chickens in Australia. They are disgusting. Huh. Where I lived in the Nevada desert, there are tons of seagulls that hang in the alleys eating garbage. They are mean and will dive bomb you. P.S. How did seagulls get in the desert? I don't know. If we have coyotes, they will carry away a small calf. Their howling gives me the willies. Well, coyotes, yeah, they always kill stuff around here, but no one is afraid of coyotes here. Maybe someone would be scared if they had small children, but even then, a coyote probably wouldn't go after a human unless there was more than one. So coyotes can be solitary or pack animals. Um, Here, there's both. You'll see lone coyotes all the time in the city or just wherever. But then there's also packs of coyotes. And coyotes are impossible to eradicate because when you kill, like say there's like 5,000 coyotes or whatever. And let's say you killed 1,000 of them. You hunted 1,000 of them, which there's open tags for coyotes, I believe. Coyotes and pigs. There's too many wild pigs and there's too many coyotes. So they I believe it's open tag for those for hunters. Um, you can, as in like you can get as many as you want. So basically, we have uh, five. What did I say? 5,000 coyotes, right? Let's say you kill 1,000 of them, right? So you have 4,000. The rest of those 4,000, when they take their roll call howls and they see that there's so many missing, 1,000 missing, these 4,000 will breed to replenish that lost 1,000 plus extra, and then uh, so on and so forth. So if you killed 4,998 of those coyotes and you had a breeding pair, they would breed until they died, replenishing the population of coyotes. They're like, it's in their DNA to not go extinct, which is pretty crazy. It's cool though. Uh, we have seagulls and we are not nowhere near the ocean. They brought them in to help get rid of geese. Now we have both. Yeah. Why would you want to get rid of geese? Like that's our. Hey Ash, is Canada goose our national bird?
I think so. I don't know.
Okay, I think our bird is the Canada goose. Um, I'm not exactly sure, but oh my nose, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, okay, no, I'm not gonna sneeze. No, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna sneeze at some point here. But yeah, we have tons of geese all over the place. I remember who was it? What country killed like 10,000 geese, Canadian geese the other like last year? Canada was pissed. Uh, I didn't know that about coyotes. We have them here also. Yeah. Uh, Hold on a second here. In St. Albert, we have coyotes spotted in neighborhoods on a daily basis. Some people are pretty terrified and think that fish and wildlife need to remove them, but they simply don't understand. Wow. Yeah. Coyotes are seen in Edmonton, St. Albert, Spruce Grove, Stony Plain. I mean, we see them. We don't see them so much here because we have foxes, and and coyotes compete for territory. And this year, foxes have won. So we've only seen a few coyotes, but we've seen the fox quite a bit. And we have like the big red fox, like the coyote sized fox. So it's huge for a fox. Like foxes are like this big, right? Right? These ones are like this big. They're huge for a fox, at least in my experience. And so they can easily compete with coyotes for territory. Uh, but when you see a fox is not scared of people like a coyote is. They still are scared of people. They'll still run away, but they are way more brave and they take way more chances than a coyote does. So I would much rather have a coyote than the foxes because the foxes is harder to make stay away. Coyote, you can just like yell at it and it'll run away and it won't come back for a while. I mean, it will come back if it has an enticing reason, like food, such as chickens or cats or rabbits or anything like that. But a fox, you can shoot at a fox, and if it thinks that you can't see it and you're guessing because they're cunning, as in, isn't that a thing? Cunning fox? Isn't that a saying? I don't know. They will just come back. They're pretty crazy. I don't know.
Man, you're so off topic.
Yeah, Ashley just said I'm so off topic. So, anyways, talking about the chickens. I came in this saying that we bought some stuff and we're waiting for it to be ready to pick up. So we're gonna hang out with you until then. I should be getting an email here soon. How long have I been on? Another hour till they're ready. But did you see that? I just like I was started talking again while I was drinking. Chris says there's an odd wolf sighting. I've only seen one wolf in my life, and it was in Jasper. Anyways, I wanted to show you guys something. So earlier, I took out the old sketchbook, and you guys know that I like sketching every once in a while. Not sketching; it's more so scribbling than actual drawing, because I'm not a very good drawer. You guys remember this one? There's a video of this one. Sly like a fox. That's what it is, not cunning. What's cunning? Mr. Phipps said sly like a fox. Cunning. I don't know. Okay, so I drew this, or I scribbled this thing. See if that will focus. There's too much backlight. Hold on. There we go. You can kind of see that, right? Let's see if I can get. There we go. That looks better. I'm trying to block the backlight so that you can actually see it. Anyways, this is just a little rooster scribble that I did. And it is a, I forget what kind of rooster this is. I forget. But it's a rooster. Anyways, this is a, hold on, second edition, if you will. Because my first one I drew was this one, which is not nearly as good. You can see that I never even finished this one. So yeah, so this is the one that I chose to use as a piece of art for some stuff on Teespring. So my dog started barking at something. I thought maybe someone was here. So on Teespring, I put on 3 new products. Or 2, well, yeah, so there's a shirt and so like a unisex shirt, and then a women's shirt, and then a mug. So if you're interested, and I know people have been asking for artwork on the merch instead of just like the Ushitat logo or whatever, and so I decided to do this for you guys who have been asking for more art. I believe I have only 2 different art pieces of merch on there. The chief here that I drew here with the red background, the Canada. I called it Oh Canada. Let's see if I can find this again for you. I believe this comes on a shirt and maybe a mug, but probably just a shirt, and then the rooster now does. So if you would like, there's that for you guys. And I do have some more ideas that I'm going to put on. I'm just trying to keep it relevant to what's happening on the YouTube channel now. And since I'm going to be putting out another part 5 of the Coop build soon, I mean, that's 5 parts. We should probably put some chicken stuff up on the Teespring if you guys would like to support in that way. So it's live now if you want to check it out. Where are your chickens kept now? The chickens are kept in the temporary coop, which I've shown a few times on the vlog. And that coop was actually, that was a thing that me and a guy, Steve, if you watch the vlog, Steve is the guy who taught me how to do the taping and stuff. We used to build those. That one wasn't never finished, but we used to build those and sell those. And bat boxes, birdhouses, all sorts of different things that people would get for their acreages. Anyways, that was one that was just not finished and then kind of left over. And so that's what we are using to keep them in now. And then I built out of just scrap wood that we took out of this house, a couple little runs, if you will, with hardware cloth around it and stuff. Corey Huff says, "What's going on, Josh? Ready for winter and stuff?" Corey is the guy who got me. If you know what the, I just went over there to see if I had one, which I don't have one. But you know the Sheldon, the turtles that I made. He works for this company that gets these contracts with different oil companies and whatnot. Anyways, Sheldon's shell is pieces that I got from him, and he actually cut some new ones. So I should be able, anyone who's asked for a Sheldon, I should be able to get your Sheldons soon. I just have to go pick those up. Anyways, that's who Corey is. He's a decent dude. He's also like a good filmographer. Is that a thing? I don't know. He makes good videos. Um, like as in like people can hire him to make videos, I guess. Uh, yeah. If you followed me for a while, you know who Landon is from, which he was in a vlog too, or maybe a couple, and also a build video of the not a typical pallet table build video uh, with unlimited edition. That's how I know Corey, and Corey has made videos for him and stuff. No one has a chicken coop like Josh's Chicken Palace. There are some pretty nice chicken coops out there, I have to say. Like, there are some coops that I'm like, man, I wish I had the time to make that. But my chicken coop is pretty cool. Let's see here. You should do an end of season video that shows your progress on all the different home projects. I didn't save any of the footage from any of the other stuff, so I wouldn't have any before stuff. So I'd have to keep saying, oh yeah, go back to one of the vlogs, and I don't even remember which ones they are. So I don't know how I would do that. That is a good idea though. I don't save the footage because I just have so much space, right? And then I have to delete it. I've been calling it the Chicken Mansion. Yeah. Vinyl siding, triple pane windows. Looked more like a house than one I saw. It was crazy. Looked more like a house than one I saw. Yeah, some people, yeah, go all out on their chicken coops. We kept chickens for many years. I miss them now. They're gone. Yeah. But we've only seen yours, says Dennis, so it is the best. uh, Honestly, chickens really aren't all that much maintenance, especially if you have a chicken tractor, which is portable, and you can move them around so they eat pests like ticks. Yeah, chickens are not much maintenance, but Ashley is very vigilant in keeping the coop clean, so she cleans it every week, changes their litter and all that stuff. Um, she probably spends more time taking care of the chickens than most people would feel is necessary, but she wants them to be comfortable, and she also doesn't want it to look disgusting like most people's chicken coops. Not everyone's chicken coop looks bad, I shouldn't say that, but all of the ones I've ever seen all look gross. Like they're just full of shit. Like, and some people do the layered litter so it stays warm in the winter. Where it's just like they lay down some litter, they crap all over it, put more litter down, and so on and so forth. And it just gets real thick. Like the coop that's here, like the old one that we're gonna burn down, that one's like this thick. Like you can't even close the door. It's gross. Which some people said that I wasn't true to being a real environmentalist, which I've never claimed to be an environmentalist. So, I mean, whatever that means. Because I don't want to save the wood from that coop. But, I mean, I don't know if people are dumb. No, I shouldn't say that. That's rude. Some people don't understand the dangers that go around with chicken crap. You should not be using that wood for other stuff. It should, once it's used for chickens and it's got tons of chicken crap in it, that's a wrap on that wood because it just gets, it's too ugh. I Birds can pass on their diseases and stuff to humans, and crap holds a lot of diseases. That's To me, that's obvious to not use it. I don't. Maybe that's just me. What do you guys think? I don't know. We typically have wire floors in the coop, but we are much further south than you, Josh, so it's plenty warm enough. Wire floors. People have wire floors here too, especially like the chicken farms, but I believe they're gonna outlaw that because it's bad on their feet. I think that's a thing. I know it is bad for their feet. I mean, at least that's the argument. But yeah, that makes it so their shit can just go right through, which that makes sense. But I'm not I'm not 100% sure about what the issue is here. Like you have to. There's certain rules now, like new rules, which is good because um, I mean, I'm of the belief that even if an animal is being raised for food, it should still live a comfortable life. Even if it's a short life, it shouldn't suffer its whole life through just because it's going to be food. It doesn't know it's going to be food. That's kind of to me that's messed up. I mean, I eat meat and I will continue to eat meat, but we're conscious about like where we buy our meat, how it was raised, and all that kind of stuff because we don't advocate for anything suffering, including animals, because that's messed up. Not saying that you're mistreating your chickens or whatever, but I mean that's just what we've heard. Um, she's saying with our wire floors, there's plenty of bedding, and we usually put the wire floors on the ground, so the issue with the feet isn't much of an issue. Grass grows up through it. Oh, okay. So it's different. That's different. So what happens? So if you go to a chicken farm, you will see. Well, if you go to a chicken farm, if you're in school, they don't show you like the whole big ass chicken houses because that would be insane and you could get hurt. But they'll show you like an example of it, and you can see them walking on the wire, which is just like a kind of like a hardware cloth sort of looking wire, I guess. Anyways, it's raised above the ground so that when they crap, it just goes right through. I imagine the wire for you is like a predator thing so that nothing can dig underneath and then come up. And that is a thing that we've considered doing. Uh, um, that also makes it so that it can't scratch up the ground as quickly and so it lasts longer so that bugs will still be in there and stuff and whatever, all that kind of stuff. Um, that would be a different thing. So that's not what I'm talking about. Um, a bare wire floor can cause cuts to foot pads, but dirty litter can cause ulcers to bottom of feet. Word, yeah. People around chicken farms get a lot more asthmatic and have other airway issues. They just create a lot of gases and particles. They don't remove the poop either for ages. Man, so there's a chicken farm where Ashley's folks live, and when they do the crap changeover, uh, uh, man, it is horrific the smell because you can smell it for miles or kilometers, whatever. Like you can smell it like in your closed window vehicle when you're driving by. You like so they live probably I don't know 4 kilometers away from it down the road, and you can smell it when they are doing their changeover or whatever it is, and they like take hours, or it takes hours, like a whole day for the smell to go away. It is nasty. Hey, Ash, there's a deer in the trees there.
I don't want a paint because it'll start burning.
I'm gonna show you guys this deer that's chilling in our forest, but I gotta be nonchalant so Hank doesn't start barking at it, because that'll be annoying. Oh, he's wondering what's going on. Okay. I'm just gonna be. Oh, don't look out the window, bro.
There's two. They're babies. Bobby sees them.
Oh, dang it. He sees them. He's gonna start barking. But there's 3 of them right there. 2 babies and a mama. they can they can hear him, but they don't know where he's coming from.
I don't want him to scare them.
But you can see that the little one closest to us, he's got his, I forget what they're called, but his antlers are start almost, they're almost popping out of his head there. And then the other one's got little smaller ones that are much harder to see, but they're both going to have antlers um, popping out. And
You're gonna eat the apples.
yeah, they're just eating the apples because I don't know, they always do that. I can't see anyone's comments or anything, so I'm not sure if people are bored by this or not, but I figured I'd just show you them just in case you're in an area that doesn't often see uh, deer. Anyways, let's go back here. Trying to, trying to keep Hank from barking. Hank doesn't like deer. I'm not sure why. It could just because it's an animal and he's got a high prey drive. But if he, oh, also he's protective. But if he went out there, he would get the crap beaten out of him. So definitely can't do that. Or they would, or they would run away. They would probably run away. But it could be bad. Now they're just, they're heading back into the forest. So yeah, it's cool living here because, well, where we lived before, we would see deer all the time too, and moose. Here, when we first moved here, I think before we started living here, we were doing renos, like knocking out these walls and doing electric and whatnot. We had a mama moose and a baby moose, or like a yearling or something like that, and they would hang out here and chill by the apple tree. Maybe I'll get Ashley to send me the picture and I'll post it on my in my story maybe from on Instagram. Maybe I'll do that if I remember. I might forget. Are there zombie deer up there? I'm not sure what that is. Is that a real thing or are you just making it up? I'm not sure what that is. Zombie deer. Is that like they have Lyme disease or something? Moose, now that is Canadian. Young moose are so goofy looking. All moose are goofy looking. They're actually kind of ugly. Yes, they are sick like mad cow. Oh, that's the. Okay, I know what that is. That's. Okay, no, we don't have that problem yet. Yeah, that's from eating corn, right? Eating too much domestic food, I believe. Or something. Mixed with it, with yeah, I can't remember. Hold on one second. Let me just, I can see what this camera is. I actually have paint on it. Sorry about that. I accidentally pressed this button. There we go. Well, we have chronic waste disease in Saskatchewan on some. Yeah, chronic waste disease. That's what I was thinking it was. The deer are even in town here in Oregon. They come on a deck to eat flowers. They know we can't kill them in the city. They are calm. Yeah, deer are smart that way. No, the wasting disease is from pathogens similar to what causes mad cow disease. Okay. I thought I might be getting mixed up with something else. I believe it was Steve Ranella had a. I think Steve Ranella had a podcast with Joe Rogan, and they talked about it. It might have not been Steve Ranella. I can't remember. Shit. Hold on one second. I gotta text this guy back. They get mad cow from cows. Hey, that has cows left. Oh yes. Okay, when I'm talking about the corn, yeah. So it's from too many eating from the same food source, which is typically corn, is what I heard. That's what I'm thinking of. I knew it had something to do with corn. I was like, what? Isn't it? Yeah. Okay. I love Steve Ranella. Yes, they talked about it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, yep, and it can be transferred through the soil, whether deer with chronic wasting disease has it, and peas and grass absorbs it, and the next deer eats that grass. Can get, wow, wow. We have deer going behind our house all the time. A couple of chipmunks moved in by the stone wall in the back a few weeks ago. I had never seen them in real life before. Chipmunks? We have chipmunks, but we don't see them that often. We have a lot of squirrels. We have red squirrels, and we have gray squirrels, and we have flying squirrels. The gray squirrels are a little more rare. You see the red squirrels quite often, and you see flying squirrels, I would say more often than gray squirrels, but also not that often. Uh, they're awesome. They're like, they look more like marsupial than regular squirrels because they got like the dark black eyes, and then they they have the, whatever you call them, the flap things, which is
We
which
should
is
go, man.
really cool. Why? Did you get the email?
To make up this
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Oh, I didn't know. Sorry, I didn't get it. All right.
I'm thinking it will come soon.
So we got the email, so I guess we're gonna go. So thanks for hanging out. We should go get some work done. So thanks for being here. Thanks for chilling. I think I missed the super chat because it says $33. I'm sorry for whoever that was. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna head out. So thanks for being here. Peace.